Imagine being able to talk to a dead loved one, telling them or asking them the things you never got the chance to say while they were alive. That's what Jessica could give you, letting you talk to a loved one. It started after the car crash when she was 19. She was taken to the hospital alongside some other passengers in the vehicle. However, she was pronounced dead for 2 hours. It was only when they were taking her body to the morgue that she gasped and came back to life. It was like a miracle and everyone was happy. But she didn't come back the same. Days later, she started waking up in strange places, like the backyard, the main road. Once, in the neighbor's goat's shed with no memory of how she got there. At first, her family thought it was sleepwalking, until it became clear she wasn't alone in her own body. Sometimes the dead would enter her while she slept, borrow her body to visit places, write letters, even speak through her to people who were grieving. She had no control. Her parents grew afraid. Eventually, she was taken to an old woman in Uvalde, a woman said to understand strange things. That woman taught her how to choose. If she couldn't stop the dead, she could at least decide when they could come in, and only how much of herself she would allow them to use. After that, she left the village. People had stopped looking at her like a person. They stared like she was something not meant to be here. But word followed her. And, eventually, so did people. They came carrying grief like bricks on their backs. They wanted answers, closure, apologies, forgiveness. And by borrowing her body, they got answers. All they needed to do was bring something that belonged to the deceased, which Jessica will hold on to summon their spirits if they have not crossed to the afterlife. Something that had their energy. You sat down in front of her, and she would close her eyes. Her body and expression usually changed, and then she would speak. But it wasn't her voice. It was theirs. Their tone, their rhythm, their exact words. She became the person you lost for 5, maybe 10 minutes, just long enough to hear what you never got the chance to. One woman came with her daughter's red ribbon. The girl had died of a sudden illness. She passed in her sleep. The mother blamed herself for not rushing her to the hospital. Jessica's neck jerked forward. Then, in a tiny voice, she whispered, "Mommy, I wasn't scared. I saw you sleeping beside me. I wasn't in pain. Please stop crying." The mother screamed, not from fear, but from relief. From the words she'd begged God to hear for 2 years. Another time, a man named Seyi brought his brother's football jersey. Dayo had died in a bike crash on his way home to surprise their mother. Seyi was supposed